Okay, let's get started with the menu. Obviously, this is the menu over here. First thing you want to do is decide where on the website you want to place it. Left, right, top, or bottom. I'll start with left, but you can pick from any of these designs as a starting place and make adjustments from there. Once you make an adjustment to a locked design, it will create a new design for you, so you can always go back if you want. I'll give the menu some color so you can see the space we're working with. Again, we have the fixed page position that will fix the menu on the page when scrolling with thumbnails or vertical scrolling with images. Or if you turn it off, the menu can scroll up like this. With the justification of the text, you have left, center, and right. You can position the text on top, center, or bottom within the menu area. Then there's some text padding. If you have a logo, you're going to want to do some vertical text padding. This slides it down below the logo. There's horizontal as well. If you're justified on the left, you can push it off using this setting. Next is menu overlap, which allows the image to go underneath the menu. If I have scrolling on my images, they can slide under the menu using this offset setting. You can just match the offset to the width of the menu. Also with fill and fit, the images will go underneath the menu if you want that effect. Next is menu offset, which allows you to move the whole menu down. Not something you will really want to do, but it's here for a few outlier cases. Then you have the width, which is generally dictated by the menu text and font size. You'll make it wide enough to accommodate your longest menu item. Then you have the color and transparency. One is solid, then you can fade it back if you want images underneath the menu, or you should just set it to 0 if the menu is the same color as the background color. Next is the menu font. When picking fonts for my site, I generally start with the menu and try them all out here. Then you can transform all the text if you want to lowercase, uppercase, and caps. Then kerning, which brings the letters together or further apart. Blend mode, if you're not familiar with it, allows the text to react underneath the image. It will change based on what's underneath it. You want to use that if you have your menu on top of an image. You can look at the manual under new features to see what the various settings do. And font size and color. Then there's hover color, which is great feedback for your users so they can see as their cursor rolls over the text, the different menu items are highlighted. And then there's select color. When you're on an item, the color indicates where you are, which is great feedback for your viewers. I generally make the hover and the select the same color shades of each other. Then there's text gap, which is the space between the main menu items. I can increase that gap and all the gaps by changing that number, positive or negative. Then we have menu indicator. This is something I really like because it gives feedback to users on where they are in your site. And we have lots of cool options to choose from, including a custom indicator you can make and upload to your site. Instructions for a custom indicator are in the additional topics section. And then a horizontal and vertical offset for the indicator. This is because different fonts will mess with the position, so you can fine-tune it here. Next is the sub-menu items. If you have no sub-menu items, you don't need to adjust anything. But if you do, there's lots of great settings here. Sub-justification allows you to inherit the menu justification or make it different for the subs. This can be particularly valuable with top and bottom menus. Speaking of top, the normal behavior in top and bottom is for the subs to drop down a level and then go left or right of your main item. But if you have a menu on top, you can have it drop straight down if you turn on the drop-down sub-menu. Once you do that, you can set a background color and transparency and a shadow transparency as well. The sub-items can have an indent. As you can see, they are slightly indented here. You can choose actually to go the opposite direction as well. Then there's a gap between the sub-items. Those are underneath a main item, and they have their own gap spacing, which generally will be smaller then the main items. Then we have a leading and trailing margin for the subs. Under the main item before the subs is the leading margin, and then below the subs is the trailing margin. This is all used to indicate hierarchy and show how the subs are part of the main item or not. Next, you can select a different font for the sub menu items or inherit the menu font, then text transform, and finally the sub font size. Then we have the sub expand collapse, which is an important feature. You can set it to auto, where you have to click on the main item to reveal the sub items, so they expand and collapse. Or you can go always open and the subs stay open and never collapse. Cool feature. Then again, if you're using the menu indicator, you have a couple adjustments for the sub item bullets if they get out of whack. Then we have scroll bar for when the menu is bigger than the screen people are using to look at your site. To activate the scroll bar, you can grab the corner of your browser and make the window smaller, and you will see a scroll bar appear. Of course, there's the global smooth scroll, which is recommended, or you can make custom scroll bars and use the align, colors, transparency, and width to adjust the look of that. Now, if I want a different website placement for the menu, you can always just pick a design that is close to what you want, then make adjustments from there.